Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of our Last of Us Rewatch podcast. I'm Phil.
Oh, hi, I'm Joe. Can you believe we made it to 2 episodes?
2 episodes. We didn't talk about I didn't talk about the donut in this opening, but I have a donut. It's
I do
much
too.
smaller than the one before.
Mine is smaller than the one before too, but
What do you
I
have?
my well, I bought a 6 pack of apple cider cinnamon donuts from the supermarket, and I got them at the manager special section, so they were on sale, which is great. Like I bought the 6 pack for $1.50, but that was yesterday. I feel like I feel like if I eat this during the show, I'll be like just like dry. All right,
Well, I
so
got
what do you
these
got?
from Aldi. These are like chocolate covered donuts, I guess. It's like an Entenmann's or like a
Like a vanilla cake with a
yeah. I will
hard.
bite into it right now.
That's it. Yeah, I'll bite into mine right now too.
So there you go.
Super dry. Now donuts have nothing to do with The Last of Us.
No, they
Well,
don't. Do they?
were they working on donuts in that factory that was mentioned in episode 2?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, my notes aren't that good.
Yeah, I don't have
All
notes, so my notes are non-existent.
right, but certainly if there is a spore outbreak, it would be in these donuts, and we would have sealed our fates
Yes.
by
By
those
the
tiny
way,
bites.
I mentioned it late in the first episode, but spoilers abound. Um, if you have not watched Last of Us, why are you watching this?
Right. I
Watch
mean,
that
why?
and then watch this.
I mean, watch that twice instead of watching that and this.
I mean, maybe watch it once and then like test out the first episode, see how that goes of this, and then come back. Maybe
I don't know. The first episode wasn't that good. Can you guys start on like the 10th episode?
there's only 9 episodes of The Last of Us.
The wrap up, the season wrap up
Okay.
episode. It's gonna be. I don't. I know it's 9 episodes from now, but it's gonna be really good.
All right. So episode 2. What is the name of this episode? Do you know that?
I don't
I
know.
was
We
thinking
are
that also before we
terrible.
started, and I was like, I don't know what the name of this episode is called.
But we are both sitting in front of computers, and podcasts are great because podcast podcasters love to listen to people type on a computer. So
Yes.
the second episode, season 1, episode 2, is called Infected.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and this one starts with the cold open of the lady that I briefly mentioned yesterday. She is an expert that is taken into custody and afraid. My dog's barking because this makes him very nervous. This opening sequence. She's taken into custody, and she's revealed to be an expert. And her opinion is asked on what is an outbreak.
Yeah. I think like again, this is like I mentioned last time. Like if Joel is not in that scene, it's probably not from the game, and this was definitely
Uh,
not in the game at all.
yeah, it's weird. I remember thinking, like, how did they do this?
So the cold open with the was it Indonesia? I want to say, is that it?
I didn't want to. Again, I did no research on this, but I didn't want to assume that what language she was speaking, where she was. You'll see later in the show. I have other questions about where they are, but I didn't want to assume. Uh, but sure, Indonesia. Um, and she's great. Like we see her examine a dead body, and uh, spores come out of the dead body's mouth and sort of move in a creepy way. And then after that, there's a sit down sequence where she's speaking with this soldier who's sort of answering her questions. In my notes, I wrote like every question she asks, it gets worse. Like the guy gives answers that to him might not seem so crazy, but you can see her face just like, oh, this is terrible. Like
Yeah.
this is a mess. And then that super chilling moment where her answer to solving the crisis is
Bomb.
bomb, and it's. I mean, she says bomb. She says the word bomb, and at the same time, like the whole time you're reading closed captioning or yeah, the translation, and she says bomb, and it says bomb, and like it hits so hard. I don't know what it is, but like and you know exactly what she means. Like there's no there's
Yeah.
no way out. Like you got to kill everybody, including us, like including me, old lady, old Indonesian woman, and young Indonesian soldier. We both need to die. It's so effective, just like the beginning of the first one. Super,
Yeah.
super, super.
Yeah, I thought like the fact that it is in a different language, like, and you're reading subtitles and all that stuff, and like the one word out of all of that you recognize immediately is bomb. Like that, like
Yeah,
it's so good. Um, and like I think the subtitles actually like hammers it home because it's like if it were some other like translation or whatever, like if they didn't use the subtitles in that, like you could be like, well, did she actually say bomb or am I just hearing bomb because like I don't
sure.
understand what they're saying? But like the fact that like they translated in the subtitles and she says the word bomb at the same time, I think was what makes it like so effective.
Really effective and really chilling and really unsettling. And then boom, credits. And then we begin. This would have taken place right as the outbreak was happening, which was in what year? Like 2003, you're saying?
2003, yeah,
Right. So then now we're back in the present where Ellie is waking up. Uh, and she wakes up to the two of them, to Joel and Tess watching her.
yeah.
They're like ready. They're
Like
waiting for her. At
neither
first
of
I was
them
like,
have slept, right? Like they've
yeah,
not
no,
slept.
there's no way. And Ellie's like, what a great night's sleep. She's sleeping on this like grassy like hill. Uh, and they're just both with guns, just waiting for her to turn into a monster. And there's a good chunk of this episode that's about them expecting her to turn.
Yeah,
So last week I was talking about the things we needed to see in the first episode, and one of those things was that Ellie was immune, that she could not become a spore monster. This episode certainly drives that point home. Like this episode is the episode where you're like, where the audience and Joel are on board. Like we get it now.
yeah, and I think like I mean when we get to the end of the episode, like well, like it kind of takes us on a journey to get to that point, but like yeah, in the first episode you really you hear that she's immune, right? You like
Right. Yeah. There's some mention of it though, right? Like
yeah, like but you don't know if it's actually true. Like
right.
if you're watching it for the first time, like could be anything really. But yeah, my favorite thing about that scene, I guess, there might be a scene in between, but like it starts on like Tess and Joel like munching on what maybe jerky. Yeah, it looks really dry. It looks really really dry, and like um, it cut to Ellie just like munching on this giant sandwich.
They've gotten so used to munching on jerky, like they're probably into it. They love it. But you know, it's as dry as 2 day old Badger Special. It just doesn't work no more.
And my favorite thing, like after that in that scene, is like they're talking about like how like Joel and Tess are smugglers, and Ellie's like, and they'll smuggle in food. And, like she's talking about Marlene employing smugglers to bring in food, and I was like, probably not you guys though.
It's a sick burn. My favorite part of that section is they come or they're walking through the city, and Tess is asking questions to Ellie about herself, and she reveals like that she had been living in a mall.
Yeah,
And I said to myself, "Oh, she's just an old school mall rat." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, Clerks reference in the first episode, Mallrats reference in the second episode." So next week I'm going to be looking for Chasing Amy references. Just heads up, everybody. I'm going to be on the hunt. You don't need to look. I'll look for it. If it's there, I'll find it. Anyway,
I think I know what episode is next, and I feel like there is.
is there? Okay, great. No
We'll get
spoilers.
there. We'll get there.
No spoilers. I don't even remember. No spoilers. There's also just uh, Tess says that they're getting to know each other. Tess says, "I'm from Detroit," and she's like, "That's in Michigan." And um, Ellie says, "I went to school." I know where Detroit is. And I said, I don't think my kids go to school right now. And I don't think they could tell you where Detroit is. uh, are they, so they're teaching major cities? I guess it's a state capital. Is Detroit
No,
just,
Detroit's not the state
no, it's,
capital of Michigan.
is it, I don't know. They didn't teach it when we were kids either.
I'm going through. Um, there was a cartoon
The
called
Animaniacs song?
Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God, he's singing the song now. I'm googling it because that's what people love. Capital of Michigan. Oh, that's it. It's the third. It's the I know 3 towns in Michigan, and it's one of them.
Detroit. Well,
Detroit.
it's not Kalamazoo.
I know 4 towns now. Just keep naming towns and watch me learn. It starts with an L. This is not good podcasting.
No, it's not.
This is the kind of podcasting they do
Well,
in
Lansing.
Lansing, Michigan. Anyway, it turns out I'm as like Ellie is smarter than me and my whole family.
Well, I mean, she's gone to school more recently than we've gone to school, so
Facts. I love it. All right, so they reveal a big thing here that the plants are all connected. Uh, they're kind of like a hive mind. Is that sort of
I think it's more like a communication network as opposed to a hive mind.
okay?
Like I think like I've heard this about like trees, how like the root systems like can communicate things. Um, and this is not in the game.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
It makes for a very cool payoff at the end of this episode, though. I don't know if they call back to it later in the series, though. Like,
I'm
because
not
they're
sure.
all because like where could you step? Like if it's connected, they say specifically like if you step on one mushroom guy here, then they're connected underground, and a mushroom guy a mile away could know, and then they're after you. But like, then where could you walk? You'd be like, I don't know. There's mushrooms everywhere, spores everywhere. It's crazy. And they end up in the museum, which is an amazing sequence. The whole second half of this episode is them navigating this museum.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
actually, before they get to the museum, I think is the hotel.
oh, that is where they begin.
Yeah.
Where there's like a. What did you want to say about the hotel?
So like they're like both the hotel and the museum are straight from the game. I mean, with a few exceptions, there's like more combat in the game, obviously. Um, but like Ellie does this thing in the game and in the show where like she goes up to the front desk and like checks in.
Nice. Yeah, it's very cool. It's very like you can feel her character.
Yeah.
You get a good sense. Yeah.
Also the fact that she can't swim is in the game.
Oh, interesting.
But I think it's only there as a mechanic because like there are puzzles in the game. I'm using air quotes. And I mentioned this in my review because I was reading it the other day. How like the puzzles aren't really puzzles. They're not like Resident Evil puzzles where it's like, oh, find this half of this key and this other half of this key, put them together, open up this new room. No, it's more like, how do I get from here to there? Oh, there's a ladder.
Yeah.
But like the fact that Ellie can't swim, there's like bodies of water, and you have to find like a pallet for her to like climb onto, and then you'll swim her over there.
That's fun. Well, if she was on the Titanic, she'd be on the door, and you'd be the fool pushing her,
Yeah,
pushing the
you would be
door.
Jack.
Yeah, he'd be Jack. And Jack, spoiler for Titanic, Jack dies. Museum sequence is great. We get our first look at the clickers.
Yeah,
What do you think of the clickers sequence?
and like the fact there's only like two clickers in that sequence, right? Maybe one,
No, it's definitely two because
except for two.
they
Oh,
definitely
you
killed
killed
two.
one. Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean when I like it's one of those things where they set it up where they find a fresh body. Ellie's like, "Oh, I've never seen anyone die like that from one of these monsters," and Joel and Tess know exactly what they're up against, and they preface it with like, from here on out, we make no sense. We are silence. We are silence. We do nothing. Uh, so they set the tone so well with that, and then it's them sneaking around, and then just snippets of guys running behind them, just like glimpses, just like of the clickers moving, and until the flashlight is shown on one, and uh, it's very creepy.
Yeah,
Um,
no eyes.
no eyes; they're just clicking away. Um,
Yeah, so like one of my favorite things to do in the game, like once you get to a certain point, you get like you can make craft like Molotov cocktails.
nice.
So one of the things I used to do to get rid of groups of clickers was find a clicker, throw a Molotov cocktail at it, attract all the other clickers to it, and they would all get set on fire.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great idea. I don't know how I would handle clickers. Certainly, I would die.
And I do Molotov cocktails.
But I don't know if I could. Yeah, yeah. I haven't learned how to make a Molotov cocktail yet. Wait, rag? You know, flammable? I would certainly die. That's for sure. In my notes, I have one thing. What I love the most about the clickers is they run with their whole bodies, just arms flipping. Like I don't know. I guess all the spore monsters do, but there's a scene where they kill one clicker and then they turn, and there's another one that's running towards them, and I was just like, oh, that guy's having fun. It's just like every bit of him is into this.
Yeah, he's like clicking to his own beat. Like
Yeah.
he's his own soundtrack.
And then they exit and they see, what is it, the Capitol building?
The Capitol
There's a
building. That's
there's
where
a
they go.
reveal of the Capitol building, which is their destination. And what city are they in? Is this Boston
They
still,
are in
or
Boston. Yeah,
they're in Boston proper, which was bombed to the point where it was successfully bombed. Like it,
yeah. Like Tess mentions earlier in the episode, like that Boston is one of the few cities where the bombing worked.
yeah,
Um, and like I guess I didn't really think about this like in my previous viewings, but like the quarantine zone is probably like a subset of Boston.
it would be weird to do it in the actual city of Boston. It would make sense to do it. Yeah, you're right. Just like on the outskirts, or
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like because like like in the game and in the show, like they're like we're in Boston, and I'm thinking like oh they're in the city of Boston, like all of it, but like it's probably like so much smaller because like they're like we're gonna bomb over here. You probably won't even be there.
yeah. Yeah, they should rename it New Boston so we know what's going on. So they go. Their destination is the Capitol building. They go there and they find the people that they were supposed to meet. They're there.
Yeah,
Great.
the Fireflies.
The Fireflies are there, waiting for Ellie.
I mean, they are there. They are not alive.
No, they're not there. They are all dead. Joel says one of them must have been infected. They all fought and they all died. And one pops up at 1 minute, at one moment, and they have to put him down. And then there's the reveal that Tess is also bit.
Yeah,
When
like before they get to the Capitol building, like again in my head thinking about the game and like where they're gonna stop and there's that scene like where like Joel and Ellie maybe I think they've already crossed the ladder with the wood and they're looking at the Capitol building and like she's like can't deny that view.
yeah,
And I was like oh maybe they're gonna end the episode here. Because like in my mind, like I mentioned in the previous episode, like I love Anna Torv. I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna keep on for another episode.
one more episode.
I know she dies pretty soon from the game, and I was like, well, maybe they're gonna like, extend it to the next episode, but they did not.
They did not. With each step closer to the Capitol building, your hopes of a third episode with Anna Torv are dashed out the window, and it is revealed that she is bit. Do we know when she was bit exactly?
She was probably bit in the museum.
In the museum. Okay, yeah. And this is a great moment in terms of like again the confirmation of Ellie's immunity, because you see
Yeah,
like Tessa's bit somewhere here, and it's all like and it's growing and getting worse. And then she's like, "Let's see yours. Let's compare." Uh, and Ellie's bite is
it's just a bite.
it's a scratch. Even.
Yeah.
It's not even a problem anymore.
So like the thing that I noticed in the second viewing of this episode is like after they get out of the museum, like Tess is very like short with them. Like she's like she's not having anything anymore, but because she knows that
Right.
probably out of time now.
She's out of time, and that this has made her a true believer in they need to, like, she's on her like 3 minute of screen time redemption arc, like where she's like, all the terrible things we did, we gotta we gotta do right. So she's now imploring Joel to take on the case of delivering Ellie to the Western Fireflies, or as I call them, the West Flies. Is that anything?
I
West
mean,
Flies?
I
It
think
could
those are
be.
in California.
Sure. Okay, good. Oh, even further west? Okay, great. Um, Tess sacrifices herself so they can escape.
Yeah,
Is this how it goes down in the game? She sort of
it
lights a
kind
fire.
of. So like, it is actually a different. It's not a group of infected. It's actually Fedra storms the Capitol building.
Oh, she kills people.
Oh yeah, she was like, I don't, and like, it actually doesn't make sense for Fedra to go there because like it's outside the quarantine zone, and like they have no reason to follow Joel and Tess and Ellie, like because
Do
they
they
may
know
or may
about
not
Ellie?
know.
Okay.
It's possible that they know about Ellie, but it's no longer in the quarantine zone. Like, why would they care to like track him down? You know what I mean?
Is it possible they want that plastic bag back from Joel, and they're really focused? They're like, we got to
They
get that
they
bag
are
from the
very
first episode.
scarce.
Yeah. So Tess kills a bunch of clickers and in a fire, and she dies too. In the game, she's killing these.
Well, like she basically goes out in a blaze of glory. You don't see
Okay,
anything
so,
because like you just hear everything. Like you hear Fedra bust in, and you hear a lot of gunfire and whatnot, whatever, and you're out.
so she could have been burned or shot or something, but she
Yeah,
certainly wasn't like in the show. She gets
a
a
hero moment.
kiss, like a yeah, let's say a hero moment. But I was going to say she gets a like a kiss from
Fungal
a
French. That's what I'm
Uncle
calling it.
French. I love it. Put it on a shirt. She gets a fungal French before she dies, and she really accepts it. And then I was like, I couldn't believe that she was letting it happen.
Well, and that's kind of cute. Like I think we were talking about it last time about like how much of you is still you after you get infected.
Yeah,
Like so, like it could be that um, like it's more of like the infection is taking over and like she's kind of losing.
paralyzed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. So boom, that explodes, and then they go off. Joel and Ellie continue their journey. I really loved in this episode. I took a note that it's a lot of setup and payoff. Like Ellie hints at clickers, and then clickers show up. Uh, the connection between the spores is mentioned, or not the spores, the
yeah.
monsters is mentioned, and we see that firsthand where someone steps on something and it draws more infected towards them. And then, I mean, the bookends is the bomb in the
Yep,
beginning, and
arm in the
then the
bomb. Yeah, yeah,
explode, the boom at the end. Um, really, really solid episode. And in terms of like episodes, like I loved how the first half of episode one and this one I felt were very similar because it was like very minimal, very much like the show was working it works so successful when it's following our heroes as opposed to like in the second half of episode one where it was kind of jumping all over the place.
yeah.
And we're spending time with Tess, and like, we're learning about how Joel's life is after all this. But in this, there's a mission. They're going from point A to point B. It's clean. It works. I really love this episode.
Yeah. R.I.P. Tess.
R.I.P. Tess. We hardly knew you. I have some questions for you.
Yes, I am. I might have answers for you.
All right, I did warn you these questions are coming, but I wasn't specific. But this one I am specific. You're out. But I'm going to ask you every week, what was the most video game moment in this episode 3, episode 2. I keep saying it's 3.
Episode
It's
two.
2.
Yeah, like it's weird because like I mentioned before, the whole hotel and then um the museum, like all that's straight out of the video game. Like,
Visually, is it pretty close?
it's pretty close. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the planks they walk on,
Actually,
and
well, that's part of the puzzle.
part of it. Yeah,
You gotta
you have to
find a
find a
piece of
plank.
wood to put across the across that gap.
That's great.
I don't know, man. Like, um, I do really like, and I honestly I don't know if this is in the game or not. Um, where like it's part in the hotel, I think, where like they're trying to get through a door and it's jammed. Um, and Tess has to go climb across and then like open it from the other side.
Okay.
I don't know if that
Right.
actually happens in the game. I can't remember honestly if that happens in the game, but like um that is like for me like that is very much a video game thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna push you up this thing and then like I'm
Right.
gonna wait for you to open the door now.
So, so in the game, do you follow Tess in that moment as
You
or
don't.
are you're not Tess? Like you
You're
don't
not
control
Tess.
Tess?
You don't know what's
Okay.
going on.
That's so great because in the show, it really offered a moment for Joel and Ellie to begin their connection. They are still two very different sides of like
Yeah.
the missions they're on and everything.
Yeah.
So
They don't really care about each other yet.
not even a little bit. Okay. Question number two is how would you want to die? I've got three options for you this week.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you want to be bombed in Boston? Just like you're just living your life and a bomb hits. Um, do you want to drown inside a luxury hotel while you're working the front desk? Because that dude, that skeleton,
Yeah.
he wasn't infected. He
He
was a
was not
guy that
affected.
died. He's just a bro that died. Or do you want to be set on fire while experiencing true love's kiss?
The Thunder French thing?
The fungal French. Do you want to die getting the fungal French?
So, it's not this one, but I have a story about this. So, like, it's not number two because I don't want to die at work.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
that
That
just
would be
sucks.
terrible.
Like, there was one time I was at work and like as I was getting packing up to leave, I get a notification on my phone saying it's like a tornado watch, I think, which watch is better than a warning, right?
Yes.
One of those two. And I was like, and it's like, seek shelter, blah blah blah. And I was like, I guess I would be safe at work. Like it's a pretty sturdy building, but I was like, but I don't want to die at work, so I just left.
What?
So it's not
Yeah.
that one.
You're like, this is the safest place I could be. I want to be anywhere else.
I would have to say getting bombed.
Yeah.
Um, especially if you don't know the bomb is coming.
Right, exactly. Let it
Yeah,
end quick. And the way, as they're talking about the bomb, they pass like this giant crater. So you have to assume there must have been chaos, like people that survived the bombing, but and then had to whatever.
yeah.
But a lot of people died right away, and that's not bad. That's not. I mean, that's terrible. But if you're gonna die, it's
It's
better
the
than
win
getting.
whale out of those
It's
three.
yeah, it's better than the fungal French.
I mean, like, if you're not conscious for the fungal French, maybe,
Or,
but like,
yeah, maybe maybe you like the taste of mushrooms. You're really into it. All right. Would you recommend what do you think of this episode? Where does it rank amongst all the episodes?
um, I mean, this is a good episode. It's not the best episode, I would say.
Okay.
Like, but it is a really good episode. I R.I.P. Tess because
Sorry about this.
I will miss her for the rest of the I guess season because she's
You
not
can
in
say
any
the
of them.
rest. You can say the rest of forever because she is no more. I love this episode. I love the sequences in the Capitol and the sequence in the museum. And like I was saying earlier, you find out so much about the characters in this one, and it's cool. I'm excited for episode three. Episode three is called
I know the title of this episode. I think it's called Long Long Time.
is this the they go right to the Bill and Frank episode?
Yeah.
Really? This was the he won the award for this. Why do I always blank on his name?
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson's real name is I feel terrible. Anyway, he won Bill. His name's Bill. This is an all-time episode. This is one of the great ones. Even I remember that part. But for whatever reason, I thought it was like in the back half of the season. All right. Well, I'm gonna watch that episode tomorrow,
And
and
then we will talk.
we will talk about it very soon. Did you already watch it?
I have not watched it yet.
Okay,
Or I have
great.
not rewatched it yet.
Rewatch it, yeah. So let's take a bite
But
and say goodbye. Ah,
bite, chew, swallow, and then say goodbye.
yeah, be respectful about it. Be demure. Um, yeah. Thanks, guys.
See you guys in the next episode.